just recorded a demo of this trend sharpening system, and for that I recorded a whole intro detailing how I sharpen my chisels and my blades and talking about the results I expected in preparation for a comparison between the results that you get from this and the results from my normal system using water stones and a strop, etc. And it didn't quite go to plan. I haven't actually got any finished sharpened blades to compare with how I normally sharpen things. So I think we'll just jump straight in with the demo, and maybe I'll edit the intro in at the end. I don't know. Here's what happened. Right, let's get this open. I got the impression that this is a special bundle, that if you buy this, that's all you get, and that these are sort of bonus extras. This may have been a deal that they put together specifically for the tool show. You get as part of that bundle, you get this double-sided diamond file, which they say is for saw blades and the like. I'm not going to be looking at this in this review. I'm not sure that that always comes with this, so I'll investigate that at some point in the future. Clearly having a bag for this is useful. Would people really be spending extra money to buy this? I don't know. Right. Does this just pop together? Yes. I hate these packages that are heat sealed and you take an hour to try and get into them because it's made of a plastic that's just impermeable to everything. Are there instructions? Okay. Very brief instructions. Okay, I might have to actually read the instructions, but they are mercifully brief. I imagine I need honing compound, wrapping compound, and I have some here, which was open. I hope it hasn't evaporated. If it does evaporate, covered in dust, of course. I might need that. There's a screw, which I think is to screw it onto a baseboard, and there's an elastic band which I'm guessing is just holding it together. This rubber is for cleaning it, I believe. And so what we have here, quite oily, good, it's well lubricated. Regularly clean with oil, clean and oil the dovetail sections. So we have, right, I think this is all fairly self-explanatory. We put the blade in here, flat side down. I also have this chisel that I want to sharpen. So from what I gather, that goes in there. Hold it against one of the edges and you press it in against the plate, which you then move backwards and forwards. We've got a 30-degree angle there and a 25-degree angle there, and the plates we've got 450 and 220, and they just fit on with magnets. So I guess I want the 220 on the 25-degree side, so we want to swap the plates over. I guess I just leave the unused plate on the other side. So I'm guessing they want you to put some sort of oil on that. I'm just going to check the instructions to see what they say. So I'll be back in a second. I'll give you selected highlights from the instructions. They recommend creating a base plate for this that you can clamp into a vise to keep the whole thing steady. It's got rubber feet on it, so I think it will remain fairly secure just using it on the bench. I'm not going to make a base plate just now. I might decide I don't want to use this in the future, but let's give it a fair go. It also says that lapping fluid can be used, but it says you can use these plates dry. It recommends that the flat side of the chisel or plane blade be absolutely flat before starting. Quite how you get it flat, they don't reveal. They do say you can use these stones on their own, particularly to remove the burr. Yeah, I don't know. That sounds a bit sloppy to me. Well, we'll see. What else can I tell you? Removing the burrs that may form on the back of the tool cutting edge by gently working one of the spare diamond stones flat on the back of the tool. Yeah. So they do seem to think you should be doing that to remove the burr. Well, yeah, we'll see. There's quite a few grind marks on this chisel. Yeah, we'll give it a go. I may have to go back to my my water stones to do the back of the chisel, but at least I will have got the honing angle. Shall I use some lapping compound? I think I will. I guess you just pour a bit on the stone, I suppose. Oh, a bit too much. I'll keep the instructions fairly clean. Right, it says, oh, excuse me. I am a bit obsessive about keeping my hands clean. Right, so it says push, there's a bit of play, it acknowledges there's a bit of play in this. So it says push it that way to remove the play. Get your blade against one of the edges. I don't know whether it's going to be easier to do it against the far edge, and just push the blade in against the stone and go for it. And it says it will rise, which it just has. Yeah. Right. Am I doing this correctly? Yeah, I think there would be a certain advantage in having this. I don't know whether you can hear me over the scraping. I think there's a certain advantage in having this firmly attached to the bench. Now I have an old bench hook, which I could use. I could press it into service on this. I guess I'll do it that way, and screw it to the bench hook. And that would save me having to sort of make my own base plate for this. To be honest, I rarely use the bench hook. I ought to use it more, really, but hey. But if you make a base plate for it, then, well, you can kiss goodbye to the pouch, because unless you're constantly unscrewing it from the base plate, then there's no way you'd ever be able to put it in the pouch, because the pouch is very close fitting. So I might as well just screw it to the bench whenever I want to use it. The thing is, I'm probably not going to be using it that much, because I'm probably just going to be using this for initial setup. So forget the bench hook. Let's just screw it to the bench. Let's see if I can do this without a pilot hole. Right, that would appear to be firm. Right, let's try again. Oh, get it properly. There we go. So push that in, and then yeah, there seems to be a fine line. Okay, I guess you push that in and then use downward pressure to, oh, hang on. Yeah, I don't know whether the pressure against the plate is by pushing this in this way, or whether you just push it in until it touches, and then I guess it's the downward pressure, I guess, which is providing the... It doesn't really feel like I'm pressing against the blade. Maybe I am. I guess we're done when we can no longer see the grinding marks in that direction. We can only see the marks there. Hopefully you can still make out the grinding marks. So let's see how long this takes. I was going to wait until I'd got my finished chisel, and of course my plane, which is the main reason I was doing this. I was going to wait till I got it all nicely sharp and then give my opinion. But I've just spent maybe 5 minutes with this, and it's junk. I don't get how you're supposed to control the pressure on the blade, because if you, it says push it that way to get started and bring the chisel in, but the moment you do, the moment you apply any pressure of the chisel, the whole thing just locks solid. Look at that. And if you just gently touch the chisel on it, I don't think it's doing anything. I don't think it's actually applying any pressure. I think you have to apply some pressure with the chisel, but again, the moment you apply any pressure at all, the whole thing just jams solid. This is complete junk. Yeah, okay. I think I think it's only contacting the chisel when it's here, and they do say you're not supposed to bring this beyond the base plate. That doesn't appear to be contacting the chisel at all. I think this is the problem, in that it's only contacting the chisel at the extreme ends of the plate. No, this is just ridiculous. Is that actually doing anything? I don't think that's touching the chisel now. I think it only contacts the chisel at the extreme ends, and the instructions say you're not supposed to take the slide beyond the end of the base plate. I think it says you're only supposed to be doing that, but doing that, it doesn't seem to contact the chisel. Yeah, it's only in contact when you get to about here, and by then it's nearly hanging off the base plate. that's useless. No, I'm giving up on this. No, it's just not fit for purpose. And more to the point, I think all this black around here is this wearing away. It's not come off the chisel. I think all of this black muck is something to do with the finish here wearing off the slide. I don't like trashing people's products, but I don't see how this thing is supposed to work. It seems like a really bad idea. To me it needs some sort of roller bearing or something, just some way you can apply a downward pressure without the whole thing jamming. The PTFE sliders don't seem to be doing their job, because I'm getting, I think, ground aluminium. There's some black powder or something coming from somewhere, and it's not coming from the chisel. So I think this whole thing is gradually wearing down. Meanwhile, the chisel is barely being touched. So it's not like I've been paid to do this video. I spent £50 of my own money on this, and I think I've wasted my money. I'm going to have to go back to my honing guide and my 250 grit stone to get the finish I need. And also, there's no indication on this how you're supposed to grind the back of the chisel other than using the little plates freehand, which I would think is dangerous, to be honest. Rubbing a tiny little plate backwards and forwards over the back of a blade. Yeah, I'm very unimpressed with this. Yeah. Now the thing is, do I post this video? I guess as I've paid my own money for this, I'm quite free to post the video and trash somebody else's product. So yeah, I guess I'm posting it. Don't buy this product. I'm going to give this one final go. I'm going to use my plain blade, which is what I initially wanted to use this for. It could be that a 2-inch chisel is just too extreme for it. Let's try the plain blade. I think I'm being overly generous here, but let's see how we get on with the plain blade, just in case there's something about the size of that chisel that makes it unsuitable for this. I was prepared to give it a go. I was starting to get some sort of result on this, in that I can see a couple of places on here where it clearly has been touching, but you can't feel really when it's grinding the blade or when it's grinding the carriage. Talking of which, the whole thing has now, there we go, it just locks up solid. The moment you get any sort of pressure against the blade, the whole thing locks solid. I'm giving up. I have to now go back to more traditional means of sharpening this plain blade and this chisel. I just want to show you the chisel now that I've sharpened it by traditional means. It's not the best sharpening job I've ever done. I was running out of time and my hands were aching, but if you can see those horizontal scratches in there, just here, can you see that? Those are the scratches left by this trend unit. I've managed to get out all of the scratches that the original grinding wheel had used, that they used to prepare this chisel, the manufacturers used, but I haven't managed to get the deep scratches that this left in it. So yeah, actually, having said that, there are some grinding marks down this end, but in the middle all the grinding marks have gone, but not the horizontal scratches from the trend unit. So another thing that it's not very good for. A product like this shouldn't be this much hard work. It's tiring and it's basically useless, so we'll leave it there. See ya. Bye.